Just a friendly reminder that the opinions expressed on this show are not worth a Canadian penny, so disregard anything you hear that might get anyone in trouble. And despite some of the great ideas you may hear, don't try them at home. Go to a friend's house instead.
It's time to get a gun. That's what I've been thinking. Well, I could afford one. And if I did just a little less drinking, time to put something between me and the sun. When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.
Hello and welcome to Slamfire Radio. This is episode 305 for May 23rd, 2019. I am one of your hosts, Adriel.
I'm another one of your hosts, Kelly.
And the other guys couldn't make it.
Oh.
I don't think floods are an excuse anymore in New Brunswick. So mosquitoes, large mosquitoes.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
Especially up north where Trevor is.
A lot of trees, a lot of water.
They're horrible.
Mm-hmm. Big mosquitoes.
Yeah, they're big as birds.
Siege. Yeah. You know what would work for mosquitoes that were large as birds?
What?
Calgary Shooting Center has 1 million volt stun batons for $69.
Million
That's how I
volt.
tied those two together, huh?
Uh-huh.
Pre-show ramble with the what we did in Guns this week, brought to you by the Calgary Shooting Center, Canada's premier firearms retailer. Go buy a 1 million volt stun baton and keep yourself safe from mosquitoes in New Brunswick.
I'm wondering if I could buy one and use it on Trevor.
Yeah, I mean, sure, why not? The only thing about stun guns in Canada, you can't buy a stun gun in Canada.
No,
You can
it's a
buy
cattle
prod.
It's a cattle prod, and you're
You
not
don't
going
know.
to be using it on people.
It's just well, you could.
I could.
Yeah, it's assault, but you could.
Come on. It's not really assault. It's just,
Nah.
corrective measures. That's all it is.
Yeah, people do it for fun. How can it
Yep.
be considered assault?
Here, stun me. Ah!
Wow, that was fun. Can't wait to do that again. That's what everyone says after they get stunned, right?
Yes.
Yes. Can't
No.
wait till next time. No.
Hmm.
All right. Hey, for a change of pace, for once, why don't you start us off with what you did in Guns this week?
Gee, thanks. Okay, what I did in Guns this week is on Saturday we had a Maple Seal event at CFP Kingston. I wanted to congratulate Mark P. on achieving his rifleman score. It was a small group, but it was a really good group that
Surprisingly
attended.
small.
Yeah, it was small, a few cancellations, so it was a really good time, though. I wanted to congratulate everybody on sticking with things because we had probably, for the group size that we had a lot of malfunctions with our rifles. Even the loaner rifles malfunctioned. Speaking of which, I am going to be replacing my bolt on my 1022. So I have an extra one, so I haven't exchanged it yet. Changed it out. I'm going to have to for this weekend, but I have to do that because there were some issues with my 1022. And also Greg May, he had a few issues with his rifle as well. He loaned it out to somebody, so he's got to replace a couple of parts on that. Lots of rifles going down. So my advice to anybody that's attending a Maple Seed event, bring not only one, but bring 2 rifles if you can. Just saying.
Just bring a working rifle.
Bring a working rifle. Yes. Bring a working rifle that is sighted in, please. That's all I'm asking. It's not a lot, but it's what I'm asking. Please and thank you. Okay. What did you do? Sunday was supposed to be our known distance, but it didn't happen. Our known distance shoot got canceled quite. They didn't give us a lot of time because it's a...
Did they need the range or?
Well, because it is a military range, the military take priority, obviously. It got canceled because it was the reserves. Yeah, the reserves.
I got to practice shooting stuff. Yeah.
I know. So the reserves booked the range and kicked us out. However, they decided at the last minute, because it was a long weekend, that they didn't need but it was too late. We couldn't basically give people notice again that on one day that the event was back on. So we didn't have our known distance, but on Sunday night we did have an IIT, which is our instructors in training. We had a we had a call, and I wanted to say thank you very much to Greg May for arranging, hosting, and doing such a fabulous job with that. But I also wanted to say thank you to the IATs who did spend part of their weekend with us. It was a long weekend, and about, I don't know, a dozen or so came on the call and got updates on things that are going to be happening in the next month, because we're going to be going out east and out west. So I just wanted to say thank you to them because they're awesome. Monday, I took part of Monday, 4 hours to be exact, and went to the range. On Friday, there was a coworker who said, hey, do you want to go to the range again? He was somebody that I already brought to the range, and he had a friend, and a friend saw pictures of him shooting and said, can you take me to the range, or can you have that person take me to the range? So went to the range with my coworker and his friend who brought his wife, which was pretty awesome. I also arranged to have Kelly Kincaid come as well, because technically I can only have 2 shooters at the range as guests, and Kelly was going to be able to have one of the other shooters as a guest for her. But she also brought somebody. So we had 6 people there all together, and we spent 4 hours shooting. I just wanted to say thank you and a huge shout out to John. Now, John and his wife, Ava, are British citizens. John used to be someone who was in the British Army Cadets, and he is a fantastic shooter, like amazing. He did really well with pistols. He did amazing with the rifle, and okay with shotgun. He is somebody that has some mad skills. He said he hasn't shot in over 20 years, but he just picked everything up, and he did great with that. His wife, Ava, is somebody who's only ever shot 1 round of trap before, and she had some issues with technique and all that, but she was fantastic as well. She loved the pistols, by the way. She just wanted to try everything. 1911s, Glocks. She was so excited about everything. We kept asking her, okay, would you like to try this? She goes, oh yeah. Would you like to try this? Oh yeah. And she was up for everything. She even was up for the 12 gauge. Fantastic. So I got an email this was Monday. On Tuesday, I got an email from John. John just wanted to say thank you so much for taking him out. And he said that he and Ava had such a great time. And he wanted to let me know that both he and Ava had signed up for our PAL course already. Because of it, and the one that they signed up for wasn't going to be quick enough, or he felt it wasn't going to be quick enough. So he was wondering if I could give him some tips on some other PAL courses that are going to be for the one that he's able to attend. So I did send him the information on some other local people that do PAL on our PAL courses. So he signed up for those. So guess what? Some new people that are going to be gunnies. They're not the normal gunnies as well. They're not average. He's a PhD in, I think it's botany, and she's a vegan. And so the shooter that Kelly brought
some weed growing hippies. You are getting into the shooting sports here. Love it.
Well, yeah, they're not hippies, but they're extremely smart, extremely open. Now, Kelly, the shooter that Kelly brought, I can't remember his name. I think it might be James, actually. But anyways, so the shooter that Kelly brought is going to be attending the Maple Seed that's happening this weekend. He is somebody who is a hunter. Like, if it flies, it dies. And he said this to somebody who's a vegan. Okay. So Eva was open to everything that I believe it was James had to say. Because James was talking about how he, as a hunter, is somebody who is very involved in conservation in order to continue that, very respectful of all life. And so we had some really good conversations on the range. And again, this is 4 hours and 4 hours of shooting. So I've never taken somebody to a range and who's a brand new shooter and spent 4 hours there. I thought it was fantastic. So it was awesome.
4 hours?
4 hours?
4 hours on the range, yep.
Yeah. I just thought it was kind of cool. But yeah, I'm hoping. I told them to email me back and let me know what's happening with that and when the course was, which ones they decide to attend. They wanted to do it sooner rather than later. What else happened is I booked a ticket to Alberta to go to the charity shoot and the Western tour. I did that last night.
Yay!
Yeah, so I'm officially going. Yay. What else? And that's about it, I think. I'm still doing those Ladies' Day things, and I'm still, working on the calendar and all that, but that's about it. I didn't do much other than that. Adriel, what about you?
Oh, yeah.
This thing. All right.
Oh, wait. I should lock it on my screen.
Yes.
There we go. This thing came in.
Yay!
TACOM 8MG. The MG stands for magnets because they got magnets in the top. There's a shot shell carrier I'm holding in my hands for listeners for the podcast. TACOM makes a couple different styles of shot shell carriers. One of them are their sports series. Their sports series just use like a plastic fork, and they work.
Yep.
The magnetic ones, the advantage is that there's very little pressure holding the top. They're still pretty good in terms of like not falling out if you hit them and that kind of thing, but they come out with almost no pressure because that magnet at the top is the only thing that's really holding them in. Without that one on the top, this bottom one is just kind of loose. It's not really being held in by much. So, long story short, easy to put in, difficult to come out, except when you pull them out and then they just pop right off of there. So that should help with the jumbling in my hand that I was experiencing with some of the other matches. If I could compare that to just the plastic finger ones, these ones need quite a bit because you're essentially stretching that plastic as you're pulling it out. They need quite a bit more to pull them out and snap them out. And if you're doing a quad, you're pulling 4 shells out in your hand with that, and you jumble them a little bit. That's where you can run into problems. Okay,
so the one that you currently have, the one that is holding them on, is that the one that you had issues with?
Yes, and I broke it. So,
you broke it.
Look, see, I fixed it. I found one of my other cheap shell caddies that had some stuff broken on it, and I found some stuff that wasn't broken on it, and I glued it to this one, which had some stuff broken on it, and now it's working. And now.
Okay, which one are you going to use then? Are you going to use
the magnetic one?
Magnet one?
Oh yeah.
It doesn't hold as many though.
I have 3 of them.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So this is a 16 shell carrier. This is their 16S4, I think. It holds them in 4s, so you can quad load. But they're harder to pull out. The magnetic one does a nicer job of just they oh man, it's such a you know what I'll do? I'll get my either my trigger scale or my fish scale, and I'll weigh the pressure that you need to pull them out because it's such a big difference. And that a little bit of extra resistance and just being able to snatch these out makes it easier to put them in your hand properly. Because as soon as it's like when you're pulling 4 shotgun shells out into your hand to put into your shotgun, if they're not oriented in exactly the right place, that's when you start having yard sales and you can't quite stroke them into the gun and that kind of thing. So,
have you practiced with that yet?
Not yet. Now I have some tech locks on them right now, and you can see this one's angled.
Yep.
If I angle them, they take up too much space on my belt to fit all 3, and I can only fit 2 of them. That gives me 16 shotgun shells. Not quite enough. I'd prefer to have all 3 on there. So I can go with like a progressive, angle them a little bit more over here, and then swoop them straight as I get further to the right, and that'll fit all 3 on the belt. But I also have some QLS clips coming in.
Okay.
I'm going to use instead of these. And those would be really nice because then I can just pull them off. Because one of the problems with these shot shell carriers is that's right on your appendix. And if you try to like lean down to like patch something or pick up something while you're not,
they're in the way.
Yeah, they're in the way, and they bunch up on your gut and whatever. So
that's that. No, I was just wondering because you have something that's substantial, it's big, and you're used to a lot of force. So it's your muscle memory that you're used to. And now you have something that is a little bit more compact, and it is also not going to use that much force. So
it's a good point, and I'll have to do some drills with it before my next match is a major match, and that's June 8th and 9th. That's the Chaz 3-gun charity shoot. So I'll need to make sure that my shot shell game is on for that.
Yep.
And the other thing I'm doing, so I've got some of these like knockoff shell caddies here. I might throw them on a belt like this. This has no Velcro on the inside. It's not really stiff, but I don't need it to be because I'm going to use this as a chest rig. So I'm going to throw enough of them across here to where potentially maybe instead of trying to jam all 24 on my belt, I'll put 16 and I'll have some extras via this chest rig, because that wouldn't be a bad idea, right? You just have to kind of slam them on like that. And for the viewers, they'll look something like that, right? Just kind of holds on there, and you just kind of peel them off as you go across. And there's lots of space on a chest rig.
You just have to make sure that it's going to be secure. That's it.
You know, it's easy enough with these Velcro ones. You just have to like breathe out and like cinch it up like you're cinching up a horse, and it's fine.
Like a horse.
Well, I was thinking like a horse because, you know, whenever you cinch up a horse, they always they push their gut out so that you can't cinch it up real tight on them. So you have to wait for them to breathe in and you cinch it on them. You gotta do the same thing, but for yourself. Let's see here. So those came in. I'm farting around with shot shell caddies, and again, I might make that like real quick chest rig just as an add-on, so I'm not stuck with so much belt space dedicated to just shot shell carriers. But if they use the QLS, maybe it doesn't matter. My ideal scenario is I use that QLS and I have the option. Out any which way I go.
Exchanging it out.
Yeah, because they just use a quick little fork on them and click, and they come out, and it's easy. When you have an inner-outer belt really tightly on, it's difficult to get access to those Blade Tech locks and pull them out. So, whereas the QLSs sit on the outside of the belt, so you can click them out quite easily.
Yep.
Anywho, that's what's going on there. I couldn't make the Maple Seed call because I was in Jasper.
How was that?
I did the standard thing: drive through Jasper and go to the mountains and do a bunch of hiking with the kids and stuff.
Right, it's beautiful, Jasper.
It is, and it's only a 3-hour drive, and I go there every 10 years or something. So,
you're excused.
Yeah,
it was a good excuse. It was a long weekend, and this is Jasper. I'd bail on me if I was going to Jasper too.
Yeah, beautiful weather too. This weekend, there's going to be the Chaz Open House. I'm going to be at that. So if you're in the Edmonton area and you're not a member of Chaz and you want to come check out the range, Saturday is the day to do it. And if you are a member of the range, but you're like, oh man, I kind of want to check out these leagues, but I just never, the weekends never align or whatever. We're also going to be doing like league demos, so you can hop in and check it out. And then I just got an email that Bonnieville's going to do like a mini pistol match on Sunday. And I'm thinking like, oh, what if I do the Chaz thing and I go home and I grab my pistol and I drive to Bonnieville, and then Sunday I do a pistol match. That might be fun. So I might do that. That's a maybe right now.
And you might get divorced.
And I might get, because like today, and then I'm going to go to Sherwood Park and I'm going to do a talk over there. And then I'm going to go to my 3-gun meeting after that. So that's like 3 things today. And then my Saturday and Sunday both. Yeah. I'll push it up to that line. Hopefully I get some warning signs before I don't just get served with some documents one day where it's like, well, I don't know. Where did this come from?
Your wife is an amazing lady.
She's very patient.
She is.
Slowly. Patience is wearing out.
She is an amazing lady. I've met her. She's very amazing.
So let's see here. That's about it for me. Upcoming events. There's still spots for the 9th annual Podcasters Charity Shoot in Drumheller, Alberta. Tickets are available on Eventbrite. Just search like Podcasters Charity Shoot. It'll pop right up. The next one we have here, the Oxford Hunting and Fishing Show, is this weekend at the Oxford Arena in Nova Scotia. Admission's $5, kids 5 to 12 are $2, and under 5 is free. There will be a canteen available.
Sweet.
Kelly, did you want to hit on the Maple Seed events?
Okay, so next weekend it is next weekend. Holy. Next weekend we are heading out to New Brunswick. We are going to be at Restigouche on May 31st. We have spots available then. Rattle Bay and PEI, which is just outside of Charlottetown. on June 2nd, we still have spots there. And also Sunbury, which is Fredericton. On June 6th, we have spots available there as well. We are hitting other areas like Halifax/Dartmouth and also Woodstock, New Brunswick, but those are sold at events. If you'd like to attend one of those events, go to our website, mapleseedrifleman.com, click on the events tab, and you can sign up for any of those events that I mentioned. So.
I mean, if you're in the area, you could just like go do a Maple Seed and kind of do the touristy thing and like drive around PEI and like go to the beach and that kind of thing, and then go shoot a Maple Seed one of the days.
Yeah, it is fantastic. It's beautiful there. I love it. I get to go home. Yay.
More to see than Edmonton has, but we've got them all.
You got them all.
We've got them all.
Awesome. Yeah,
All right.
You can go to the mall and go and swim in the indoor swimming pool, or you can go to the ocean. Your choice.
Can you swim? Okay, but our indoor swimming pool, and we have a skating rink, and we have a shooting range, and you know.
Yeah, but you have the ocean. You have lobster. You have cliffs. You get to drive across a really long bridge. You get Anna Green Gables. You get a
Japanese tourists.
Shooting. You get Japanese tourists. Yes.
I got those in West Ed too, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right. So on to the news. The first one, just before you get to the one we were going to talk to there, Kelly. The first one was a blog post on the CCFR's website. It was gun bans, OICs, and what you can do. And this was basically encouraging people to reach out to their local Liberal representatives, whether they're an MP or they're a candidate, and implore them to not ban guns because we're members of their constituency and we would prefer if they didn't.
Yep.
I took action on this one. I emailed. We don't have a Liberal candidate in Edmonton West because they didn't win or they didn't think they had a chance of winning or something. But I reached out to the chair of the Edmonton West to just say like, hey, pass this on to the next guy, I guess, or lady or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Kingston's a stronghold. 25 years. Liberal.
You guys.
No bueno. What?
No.
No bueno.
Did they reply?
No, just waiting. So
I've been watching Reddit and I've noticed a lot of people actually getting real responses where people are like, what are you talking about? That's not going to happen. And they're like, a lot of the responses are rebuffs, but they're real rebuffs. They're not like someone took a policy page and like replied back with that. They're actually replying with off the cuff responses, which is encouraging because that means
they're reading it.
Maybe they'd be up for a conversation. Maybe you could talk to them about it. Hey, did you know that the Liberal Party has twice in the last 20 years run on banning all handguns or all semi-autos or both? Hey, you can talk to them about that kind of stuff and say like, hey, I don't want that. I'm a sports shooter or whatever the case you might be, right? And talk about it. So that's been encouraging.
The other piece with this is they ask you, they being the CCFR, it's basically a call to action. So they're asking you to contact your Liberal MP or candidate and tell them that it's not something that you do not want, obviously, but also go and volunteer for the other parties or any party that you deem that you want to go and
then tell the other parties you're volunteering for the other one and voting for it and talking to your family and friends about voting for those guys because of the issue.
Correct. So just go and do that. Let the people know that it's basically stepping up and letting them know you have a voice.
Well, I mean, there's 2 million of us, but like they're kind of taking their bet that we'll just roll over on it, right? So if you make a little bit of noise now, maybe they won't do what we're thinking they're going to do, right?
What they think that we're going to do. So Tracy Wilson, who is the lobbyist for the CCFR, has been actively on the Hill today and yesterday with all this talk that's going on. And I just posted it on our Facebook page. It was another update, a live update that Tracy was doing. It was about the AR-15. The word in Ottawa right now is that anything that's an AR-15, it will be grandfathered. It'll be going the way of the prohib. So her recommendation is if you don't already own an AR-15 and you have your restricted status, go out and buy one if you can. If you can find one right now, go and buy one. Not only go and buy one, but take a picture of you buying your AR-15 and posting it on your Facebook page, sending it to your MP, etc., and saying, thank you, Bill Blair. This is what's your comments and what you've said, because right now Bill Blair has actively been changing some of the language that he's been using, and it's military style rifles he's saying, and he's also saying that the government is not adverse to looking at any measures that are possible. Anything.
Which I've been saying this entire time, right? Now, I mean, right. I haven't bought into the Chicken Little stuff just yet, but
no.
if this is, it's been a couple of different people talking about AR-15s now at the same time, so I'm not worried because I've got two, and I this is such a tough thing to it would be really tough just to legislate against AR-15, so I'm not quite sure what the play is. Like option one, they just prohibit all AR-15s.
Yeah.
What about the Maccabees and all these other things? Everyone can get a non-restricted AR-15 quite easily. What about the things that aren't non-restricted AR-15s? What about like the 102s? What about
the SLRs?
What about like all these other weird and wonderful rifles and firearms that we have in Canada here? Like it's not just a matter of saying AR-15s are banned. It's there's a lot of complexity that would have to go along with that.
There is, but it's the optics. Because right now, the targeted rifle is the AR-15. That's what people are talking about. Yeah. If you say Maccabee SLR, nobody knows what that is. Somebody who's a non-gunny doesn't know what that is. So that's it.
I mean, the government just released a new charter on digital privacy, and part of that included solidarity with New Zealand on some of the different ways that we're going to allow dissemination of information based on what the shooter did there, the killer, which I don't like. I do not like the idea of censorship for any reason, especially by government, because I just don't think that they're to be trusted with anything in that kind of realm. But aside from my personal super libertarian thoughts on that, I could go on to the next thing here. So I mean, TLDR, like summary for everyone: go buy an AR-15 if you didn't already have one. Buy a lower is like $100 if you can find one right now. That's the thing. People have been like, I've noticed on people on Reddit and Discord talking about buying AR-15s, and I'm like, oh man, you guys, this comes around every year or two. There's another panic buy, and we run out of these things. And you should have bought one when you didn't need one, and now like trying to find one, you know, that you're getting close to scraping the bottom. There's a lot in the country, but you know, there's not that many. There's a finite number of them. But now it looks like, well, I guess you should have got one. I've got two. Yeah. The next one we have here, the RCMP. So they had been sued to release the
FRT.
FRT. There we go. Thank you, Kelly.
You're welcome.
And lost, so now they have to release it. So
yes.
When most recently spoken with, and I think this was yesterday. A senior RCMP firearms director said that they're taking steps to making the FRT available to the public.
Yes, but it looks like the public FRT will be different than the non-public FRT.
They're protecting something that is, in my opinion, not particularly valuable. The FRT as it is a crappy database with crappy photos of guns. And if you really wanted to, you could probably pay an intern to build one of these things for you for $5,000, let's say. It's not a super valuable multi-million-dollar product that our tax money has paid for, and therefore we should protect and license out to other countries.
Right.
Anywho, they're taking that was another part of this that digital charter is they're going to make more things digital and available to citizens.
They're public records.
They're public records. Just put that stuff online. I'm still cheesed that when I sell a restricted gun, I have to call someone on a phone and wait on hold for 20 to 40 minutes to say, hey, here's my number, here's their number, do the thing, and give me another number back. Like this should be a website. I am calling someone to access a database for me when I could just access the data. And in fact, this is how it's done with private business. Private business can go through a website to do these transfers.
Yes. Yep.
This crappy government doesn't want us to,
Access to information.
They want to put a 1 hour tax on our time for every transfer.
Do you know how much 1 hour of my time is worth?
Immeasurable, really. I mean, you only have so many before you die, so gotta get them in.
They referenced Dennis Young in this article as well, so just wanted to say thank you to Dennis for
being a thorn in the side of the government, making them do what they're supposed to be doing this whole time.
Yes.
Thank you for keeping the government honest.
Yep.
This next one isn't Canadian news, but just because we had Bloke on the Range a couple of weeks ago,
I heard.
He made a comment saying like, this, the EU wants us to adopt their gun laws because in order to do so, we have to be part of the same something.
Yeah.
Some kind of what do you call it? Passport working everywhere and everyone can move between them. But if you wanted to do that, they had to adopt these anti-gun laws, and now they've got these ridiculous, unworkable gun laws. How
convoluted is that?
Bloke had put together an email that he sent to gunsamerica.com, and he had a bunch of some of the details in there.
Yeah.
So I'll include that link in the show notes, but suffice to say, like, he went through it and he's like, this one's workable, but it's a real pain in the butt. This one's not possible, so I don't know how they're going to do that. And it's annoying because when you look at Switzerland is up there in terms of gun ownership.
Almost everyone has one.
Yeah, it's a very high saturation of gun ownership, but the murder rate and homicide and violent crime with firearms is very low to almost non-existent, just because it's Switzerland, right? There are other factors that go into homicide that are just much more impactful than access to firearms and that kind of thing.
Right. They're very happy there. They have Swiss chocolate. I'd be happy.
Swiss chocolate, banking jobs.
Yeah.
Banking jobs, yes. Yeah. And
they get to yodel.
Yeah. Go to the local shooting club and shoot over a highway into their targets. That's something that they get to do in Switzerland.
By the way, I really enjoyed that episode. Just had to let you guys know that I wasn't on, and it was I liked it.
Yeah, you missed out. Anyways, now he's got a whole bunch more restrictions on him that are really unfortunate because Switzerland was that one country where it's like, yeah, you guys want to put all this stuff in, but look at Switzerland. They don't have to do that. They're allowed to have like these mags or these kinds of firearms or whatever the case might be. And now we can't say that anymore because they got all these other rules on top. Silly. All right. You want to talk about some new gun stuff?
Sure.
What I might do here, I'm going to put you over there. And I'm talking about, I got two different screens here. And then I'm going to share my screen. It's going to be awesome because everyone will be able to see what we're talking about instead of
except for those that are listening.
Just listen, visualize. I'm looking at a web page with a extremely expensive 22 on it. Okay, so I think we talked about the Voodoo V22 before. This is finally being announced though coming to Canada. So as of April 22nd, Go Big Tactical is bringing in Voodoo Gunworks barreled actions. These things are $2,500, $24.99 really. They're a 22 LR. It's just a barreled action. But if you want the best barreled action to make your rimfire PRS rifle or PRS trainer, I don't think this is a trainer at this point. I think this is a serious,
it is.
No expense spared 22 PRS rifle. This is the place to get them. So Go Big Tactical in BC. They've got the Voodoo Gunworks V22 barreled actions for $2,500. You still have to put a trigger and a stock and whatnot on it, but this is a very accurate, very REM 700 like trainer that you can get.
I think Rick was talking about CRPS getting one of those.
They had one that they've been showcasing. So if you've been at a CRPS match, you've seen that rifle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
The next one here I got to show is a VZ180C. That's not really a VZ180C. They put a VZ folding stock on a WK180, and it looks kind of neat. It looks kind of neat, kind of weird, kind of neat and weird at the same time. It's got this utilitarian stock on there.
Yes, that would be utilitarian, also known as ugly. Go ahead.
It's ugly, but it's also like you get a like beauty in the eye of the beholder here.
It's ugly.
That's some horrible casting on there. I don't know. I don't even know what process they used to make that steel, but whoa, man.
It's not fine tooled. It's not machined well.
No, but kind of a neat idea. So if you want to change the look of your WK 180 or make it so that it's a little bit more compact and lightweight, that's one way to do it.
Or ugly,
yeah. The next one here is the Thurion Defense Competition 9mm. So we have had Thurion Defense PCCs in Canada. This is a 9mm PCC, pistol caliber carbine. And now they're bringing the competition models in. These are $1,500.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. It's the Thurion Defense. I've heard from different people saying they prefer it to some of the other PCCs out there. It just feels like a higher quality gun.
It's a better quality.
Yeah, and the competition gun looks like it's got some extra ergonomic stuff on it. So we've got an extended magazine release. We've got a big fat bolt handle on the left-hand side for it. And I believe that fore end is different than the usual one as well. So an interesting PCC if you're into those.
Pistol carbines. Trevor, you need to get one of these.
Yes. Ooh, I got a picture on this one. The next one I wanted to show is if you're interested in some militaria, some older pistols, they've got Yugoslav M57s, which are the TT33s in 7.62 by 25, and you can get a 1,260. What's that?
Yeah, sorry, I said ammo.
And ammo.
I ruined your surprise. How much is it?
$500. $499, $500.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is from Tradex Canada. So if you're looking for a TT33, the Yugoslav M57s that they have are basically the same thing. I'm not even sure how much the M57s vary from the T33s. They look the same to me. But if you want a cool Browning-esque design in a pistol, but you want it to shoot the cheapest pistol ammo in Canada other than rimfire, this is what you go for. You can get 7.62 by 25 for, I want to say, 29 cents a round, 30 cents a round, something like that. It's incredibly cheap because there's a bunch of surplus subgun stuff around. Anyways, and free shipping. The ammo's expensive to ship, right? Solely Outdoors, they're in Markham. They've got a shipment of primary arms stuff in. Kelly, I'm getting a little bit of echo off of your headset there. So if you want to, if you're looking for a primary arms scope or red dot or something like that, go on over to Solely Outdoors. Primary arms, or I think they got a couple of Hallsons as well. Now in the past, I know that CTC Supplies has had these, so it's interesting that Solely Outdoors has them as well. Lockhart Tactical. So there are a couple of different magazine bases out there for the MMPs, but they're base pads. They're not like full bore, like big monster competition bases. And Lockhart Tactical now has some of these in. I was looking at some pictures of the real ones. These are just some mock-ups, but they're big, heavy aluminum base pads.
They have bulk buying as well.
They have bulk buy. They're not cheap. They're like $40 each. But if you're looking for like big bad aluminum extensions for your mags, that's these are sold out.
Skip it.
Well, I'm skipping it. Yeah, it's too bad. There were some Gersans for $299. The next one, and it doesn't seem like it's that exciting, but there's something interesting about this rifle I just wanted to talk about. So Iron Guns is bringing in the POF Revolution 308s. The interesting things about these POFs is that they're a 308, but they use a bunch of 5.56 parts to keep them small and tight. So the like the receiver, the barrel extension, all that kind of stuff is very small and very AR-15 sized. So if you're looking for like a lightweight, smaller form factor AR-10, this is kind of neat. And Iron Guns has them.
Iron Guns. Okay.
Perfect. All right, now I can stop that and switch it back to me.
Sweet.
Lastly, this isn't really new gun stuff, but Slamfire Radio, we have this feedback survey on Facebook and on our website. If you're listening to the podcast and you can remember to, please go on ahead and fill that out. We're going to close the survey to new responses Wednesday next week or so we can review some feedback. And again, thanks to everyone who has submitted their feedback already. One of the things that people mentioned in there was like, hey, Adriel, stop switching the video feeds so rapidly, but that's the Hangouts that does that. It just automatically switches based on who's talking.
I'll stop talking.
See, it just switched to you. That wasn't me. I'm not like, no, wait, she's talking now. Okay, I just leave it on default because I'm lazy. And sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget to do anything, and then I accidentally leave it on the wrong person for like 15 minutes.
It's the whole entire show. It's Adriel's face. I've seen that as well.
Yeah. Don't want to do that. Anyways, why don't we get on to our main topic? With us today is David Fallman. David is with the Canadian University Shooting Federation, a nonprofit founded in 2018 with the goal of promoting and fostering shooting sports at Canadian post-secondary institutions. In the past 4 months, they have almost doubled the number of current clubs in Canada to 10, with another 13 that are in the process of forming. They have 500 active student members, or more than 500, 14 volunteers, and they're currently running 3 programs. They consist of trap, skeet, and target rifle disciplines. And they're all set up to allow students to compete nationally, but still shoot at their local range. So after that intro, welcome to the show, Dave.
Thanks for having me.
So maybe tell us a little bit about how you got into this and how this thing all started.
Yeah, so back in 2017 there, I kind of refounded the whole Carleton shotgun team that kind of tapered off. So revitalized that. We got a coach. We started practicing every week. And then, after that, essentially, we decided that we needed a league to shoot in because we couldn't really go down to the States, kind of stiff competition down there. So contacted the UFC, contacted Mount Royal, as well as UBC. Those were the 3 of the clubs that were active in Canada. And we kind of banded together to form the Canadian University Shooting Federation. So after incorporating nationally as a registered nonprofit, I finished up my school in 2018 there. I moved back from Ottawa to Calgary. And then, the shotgun team had really gotten rolling. We had started to get Mount Royal's team rolling. And I met up with Delano and Aaron, the founders of both the Mount Royal and the UFC teams. So after pretty much tripling myself, we really hit the ground running, got a whole bunch of other people involved. We managed to start up 4 clubs in 4 months. We started pushing a bunch of programs. We ran our first competitive programs with the trap and skeet tournaments that wrapped up in late March, as well as a small bore rifle contest that we actually just announced the results this week. So, and then we're just looking to improve our programs over the summer. Actually, those numbers that you had are a bit outdated now, just like they've been blowing up so much. We're up to 19 new clubs that we're trying to form, as well as 20 volunteers, assuming the 2 new guys come on board next week.
So really gaining in popularity. I mean, like one of the reasons is you guys are starting from like there is no Canadian university shooting clubs in a lot of the universities. So you guys are going from 0 to 60 very quickly here.
Yeah, exactly. I tell people it's the one good idea I ever had. We're filling a niche that people are just really eating up. So
awesome. So tell us a little bit about these 3 disciplines that you've got people going with trap, skeet, and target rifle. You mentioned small bore there. So tell us maybe a little bit about that. Yeah.
So we kind of took a look at our programs and said, okay, hey, what's going to be the least controversial programs that we can run? And what are going to be programs that we can run nationwide as just kind of satellite competitions and not actually so that the teams don't have to travel to compete against each other. So trap skeet, very popular, big base of shooters, ranges, coaches, right? And infrastructure for the satellite competitions already there. And then so went and contacted all the provincial organizations, got them on board, ATA, NSSA, those are the styles that we're doing. But we have had lots of help from Shooting Federation of Canada, the Olympic guys. They recognize, even though, hey, it's not their exact flavor of the sport, we're growing the sport in general. So they've also been willing to help us out. On the small bore side of things, we've partnered with the Dominion of Canada Rifle Association. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them, but their kind of mandate is to train civilian marksmen. They run the cadet programs. They do the programs for general civilians. And yeah, they have a postal rifle small bore program. So I contacted them, and they were more than happy to get a bunch of young adults into the shooting sports. So they just took their current program that they're running for the cadets, tweaked it a bit for us, and yeah, we're off to the races.
Wow, that sounds great. I mean, so you've got quite a few different disciplines running. How does students find out about these different clubs in some of these different universities and join them?
Yeah, so we've been promoting them through a variety of ways on Reddit, Canada Gun Nuts, Gun Owners of Canada. We're all over Facebook, Instagram, just trying to get the word out, and things like this, podcasts, right? Just a lot of it's been word of mouth. CCFR and CSSA have been really good to us. They've helped us through their newsletters and through their organization, spreading the word. So it's kind of being a little bit here, a little bit there. We get an email every once in a while from somebody who wants to start a club. And we say, awesome. Either there's a club at their university that we hook them up with, or we give them the tools and the resources and help them as much as possible to make their new club successful.
Also, maybe tell us a little bit about that. What kind of requirements do you have for people starting new clubs, and what's the process like?
Yeah, so essentially what we've done is we've taken the pool of talent, the people that have started these clubs in the past, and we've reached out through fairly tight-knit community, reached out, found everybody who was involved with these 4 main clubs that were started before we got this national nonprofit going. And we just pooled their resources and said, okay, how can we make it as easy as possible to start a club? So we kind of came up with some best practices, such as, you don't want to be posting a bunch of Black Rifles, Second Amendment type stuff all over your Facebook page right when you get started. You keep it apolitical, you keep it very sports shooting related, and just things like we have pre-done constitutions. So we've taken the Carleton Constitution, the Mount Royal, the U of C, and we've taken the best aspects of all those and said, hey, these are some examples. This is what we think that you should do. It's really common sense thing. No firearms on campus, no ammo on campus, right? Makes the university very happy. And some less common sense things like, hey, don't go to private land and Crown land because you're not insured for those activities. You go to a range, then you're insured. If you're insured through your student union to have pizza parties on campus or go to the bar or whatever, but you're not insured to go with firearms related activities just out in the woods, right?
Interesting. Yeah, there's some things that I guess you wouldn't think of. And I mean, getting a charter done is, I imagine, a lot of effort. So it's nice not to have to reinvent the wheel every time.
Yeah, exactly. We make it as easy as possible. We have in-house graphics designers to make your first logo. We have a social media gal that will set up your Facebook and Instagram for you and kind of show you the ropes if you're not familiar with how to create a professional-looking page, right? Really try to make these organizations professional, well-run, give them the best practices on how to do so. And then, after they've finished the new club side of things and are ratified by the university, then it goes over to our clubs department, and then that's just all the existing clubs, which there are 10 of, and they're just managed by the provincial managers. We've broken Canada up into 4 regions, and they help out the clubs and try to improve them and make them as successful as possible.
Awesome. Yeah, which universities and colleges are you guys in right now?
So out in BC, we have UBC. In Alberta, we have Lethbridge College, we have Mount Royal, we have UC, and a couple clubs potentially forming up in Edmonton, University of Saskatchewan out in Saskatoon, and then out in Ontario. Things are really blowing up. There's a ton of new clubs starting, but the current clubs that we have there are Carleton University. They got 2 clubs, the Firearms Association and the Shotgun Team, as well as Kingston has a team, the RMC Combat Sports, and then down in London, Western has a club that just started up.
Yeah, very cool. Sounds like you guys are all across Canada then.
Yeah, actually, well, we're just trying to break into the East Coast. We have no Atlantic teams yet, but it'll come.
They'll come. They'll come around. It all sounds really interesting. So, what kind of shooting and are you trying to get people into right now, or what kind of new disciplines are you trying to bring in?
So we're kind of keeping our programs as trap, skeet, and small bore for now. But we're heavily revamping the small bore side of things. We're going to add some speed steel dynamic to it. We're going to kind of change it around, and mostly it's just tweaking our programs to make them as good as possible, right? Eventually, we hope to incorporate some more of the action shooting, like 3-gun, IPSC, some precision rifle, right? We want to encompass all the shooting sports, but we're going to keep it with those three main disciplines at the moment.
Yeah, I mean those ones are pretty legit.
Yeah,
not that IPSC and 3-gun aren't legit, but the Olympic sports and some of those more established ones, they're extremely consistent. They've been around for a while. They're recognized at the Olympic level and at the international level, and they're easier to get funding for as well, right?
Yeah, and they're really low barrier to entry, right? There's shotgun ranges all over the place. 22 is really cheap, so we're just trying to get as many new shooters out there as we can, just show people the wonderful world of shooting sports. And I mean, like, so those are the leagues that we do, but lots of our clubs, we encourage them to do whatever, just follow your passion, right? So we'll have them one club doing silhouette target, one club doing IPSC, one club doing whatever they love, right? So it's kind of, we provide support for a competitive league, and then they can branch out and do whatever they want other than that.
Yeah, it all sounds amazing. I mean, I remember going through college. There was no such shooting club in my college or anything like that. And I imagine, like, I probably would have gotten into the shooting sports earlier because I always had like the passion for hunting and plinking and that kind of thing. But I never had the things in front of me or the groups to hang out with and do that kind of thing. And I mean, I look at our local 3-gun club, and we have lots of students in that club that shoot 3-gun and that kind of thing. And just, it would be kind of interesting to have them, get more of the university students out there.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's whatever, great market, right? Like, everybody wants to get them while they're young, quote unquote, right? Like, get them using their gear or shopping at their store. So we've had lots of support from people that they say, hey, we want to show students our stuff. And I mean, me personally, I love introducing new shooters, and right, you might as well start off while you can,
and try to stop them from doing the dumb college kid things that everyone does, like putting a Tapco stock on their SKS. And I'm throwing that at myself, by the way.
Oh, everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah, but maybe you could stop them from doing it first.
If only we had a club in your day.
Yeah, someone would have said, "Whoa, don't do that with the SKS. Hey, that Mauser that you've got, don't sell that. Just hang on to it for a bit."
Yeah, how about having that support network?
Yeah, and those other guys that have been there and done that kind of a thing. Yeah, I mean, it sounds really neat. So, who should be looking to join this kind of thing? Is this just for students that are in college kind of thing, and once you're out kind of thing?
So it depends, right? So U of C, they're my favorite example because they do it really well in terms of getting their alumni engaged. They get their professors engaged. They get their current students engaged, as well as just the general public. Anybody can join their club. So it's really nice in terms of having a community. And hey, even if you're just a young person and you're not going to university, you can still come out and meet a bunch of other like-minded young people at the university club, right? Mm-hmm. But a lot of it depends just on the university's constitution, because the student associations differ by whether it's usually a percentage, like it's got to be about 70% members of that university.
I see. Yeah.
But
yeah, it's kind of neat. Yeah. I mean, I think we talked with someone from NAIT who was looking at putting one of these together maybe a year or two ago, something like that.
Yeah, was it Nicholas Brown there?
Yeah, I think it was Nicholas. And yeah, I mean that sounds like that's where I went to college, and it'd be cool to kind of go back and teach or talk about some of that stuff, because I do that with my professional life. It'd be nice to do it with personal life as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, yeah, actually, Nicholas is now our financial director, and so he's helping us out with our executive team. But yeah, we got like 2 clubs starting up in Edmonton, so we'd love to have you guys get involved, whatever way that you'd like to.
Yeah, maybe do some small bore training or get out and talk about 3-gun and some of the different gear that you got to do with that, and all that stuff's really it's interesting to me. I don't know if everyone else finds it interesting, but I sure do.
You gotta share their passion. They'll find it interesting if you give them a shot, right? You just got to expose these people.
Yeah, exactly. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about, or Kelly, did you have any questions? Sorry, I muted you while you were away there. No.
Well,
no.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to step away. There was some stuff that was been happening, so I wanted to listen to it prior to the show starting. So I just want to say hi to Dave. Thanks for coming on tonight and actually supporting our shooting community as well as bringing new people in, especially from a university point of view. That's really important. It's going to continue our sport or help continue our sport if possible, getting some new blood into the shooting sports. So just want to say thanks for that.
I'd say it's like a critical time for people to be exposed to this kind of thing as well, because I think that a lot of people, form a lot of their opinions about life in university, and I think that if you're insulated from all of this competitive shooting thing, you think of guns and you're like, oh, you don't need those. What do you need those for? And you kind of take that attitude to it. Whereas I think people who might be exposed to that a little bit more would be like, oh yeah, I'm not into it, but I know Dave's into it, and I've seen him do his stuff and his YouTube videos, and they look cool. It looks like a lot of fun. Maybe it's just not for me, right?
Yeah, and I mean, we had a ton of success in terms of, so I grew up in Calgary, moved to Ottawa, and just talking to people in the hallways promoting our club, I was really surprised by, there's no backlash against it. People just didn't know the laws. So they just thought that we had the same laws as the States, et cetera, et cetera. I said, hey, just explain to them what's going on, kind of what the situation is with guns in Canada, the licensing, et cetera, et cetera. And then said, you want to come try it? You want to come to the range one time, not expensive. We can take you out for $25-$30. And yeah, I mean, some of the time people were very neutral and they said, okay, maybe that's not for me. But a lot of the time people were very interested in coming out, and the ones that did try it absolutely loved it. So you know how it is. First time you pull the trigger.
One of the questions I did have, I don't know if you covered it while I was gone, but what are you seeing about involvement, interest? Are you finding that it's easier to get clubs out in the Western provinces more involved in this or more interested in it? Or is it evolving or in Ontario? Where's the main interest?
Yeah, the two big focal points that we have been Ontario and Alberta. So Alberta has 4 clubs with another 3 that are starting up, or 4 that are starting up now in Alberta. And then Ontario is just blowing up like crazy. In Southern Ontario, we got another 6 clubs on the way. We got another 2 clubs starting up in Ottawa. And then there's mixed results across the other provinces. Like I was saying, we don't have anything out in Atlantic Canada starting up yet, but I mean, it's just all about finding the right motivated students that want to start a club, right?
Yeah, exactly. Did you guys have much going on in Quebec right now?
We got a couple clubs starting up there. We haven't had anything actually get ratified by the student union and become an official club yet, but we got some stuff in the works.
Okay. What if somebody is interested in starting up a club?
I just would implore them to get in touch with us. You can find our contact info on our website. You can message us on Facebook, and we'll just have a little chat on the phone, kind of figure out what your interests are, kind of tell you what we're about and how we can help, and then stay in touch after that and give them as much support as we can.
Fantastic, right? Where do students or people who are interested in creating a club go to find out more about the CUSF?
So you can find us on Instagram at Canadian Uni Shooting Fed. You can find us on Facebook as the Canadian University Shooting Federation. You can find us over at Gun Owners of Canada. We got our own forum there. Just look in the special interests forums or whatever, as well as our website, www.cusf.ca.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, one of the cool things about you guys being a college group is that you've probably got a lot of people who are digital natives who really know digital well. So it's nothing for you guys to crank out a Facebook page or get a forum going or build out some of this kind of stuff, right? Compared to some of us older people.
It's hit and miss. A lot of gun owners are pretty Luddite, even the university ones.
Yeah, but yeah, it sounds great, and we really appreciate what you're doing out there for us there, Dave. So. We'll let you go now, but thank you again for coming on, and we'll be sure to include the links to the CUSF in our show notes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Cheers.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks again to Dave for coming on the show. Why don't we get to some listener feedback? Now, Kelly, do you have the YouTube chat open?
I do have the YouTube chat open. Chris Campbell is recommending everybody go and check out Bloke on the Range. I do as well. It's about talking about the laws in Switzerland. Greg May is just reminding that CRPS, they had a draw for that for the V22. So that was awesome. And let's see, Derek Merriweather is talking about Switzerland, and they have nice knives as well. Swiss Army knives. Remember, we were talking about chocolate, and yeah, and that's about it. Luc Guedin is on. He just is talking about. He is going to be at the Restigouche Gun Club next weekend for Project Maple Seed. He was just talking about going out to the range and testing 22 ammo, the various. He took out a variety and tested it with the rifle that he has, and I recommend that as well because you'll see a huge difference between different types of 22 ammo. So if you do want to be more accurate, obviously find out what works for your gun. So he's talking about that, and that is about it. Just wanted to say
they do the Ely testing. If you want to, you can book a time with Korth Group and go to Southern Alberta somewhere. Is it Balzac? I can't remember. I just like the word Balzac in the town. You can head down there and do the Ely test and test your barrel and how that.
Or you can go to England and test Ely there.
I mean, yeah, but then you got to like throw a 22 in your luggage, and who wants to do that? Yeah. The CRPS thing, yeah, we could talk about that. They're doing a founder's coin sale where you go and spend $100 and get a founder's coin, and the draws for the first prize to be drawn will be a complete rifle build consisting of the Voodoo V22 barreled action.
Oh, I guess I better go and buy a coin then.
16.5-inch Kukri profile barrel and FDE with 2 mags, an MDT ESS chassis with skeleton stock and a 15-inch fore-end in FDE, a TriggerTech diamond trigger, which is pretty good, an Atlas V8 bipod, and an Insight Arms Heathen muzzle brake. The total retail for this build is approximately $4,500. So what you got to do is go get one of these coins here.
Coins are really nice too.
Yeah, it is. It's like it's got some weight to it. Yeah, and then get one of these coins, and get one of the coins.
Okay. Rick, if you're listening, and I know you are, bring one to this weekend's shoot, and bring one to this weekend's shoot. I'll give you $100.
Oh, but wait, there's more. Second prize is a live radar unit.
Oh.
Third prize is a Diamondback Tactical 6-24. So,
okay, these are really cool prizes.
They're pretty cool prizes, and they're not going to like sell a whole ton of these coins either, right? So
chances are pretty good. Somebody's got to win it.
Someone's got to win it. And they still have a few that they're available to sell. So if you're interested in those, our free plug for Rick is go to rimfireprecision.ca and check those out. Where are we?
Listener feedback.
Yes, listener feedback is sponsored by Armory DC Gunsmith. Armory DC Gunsmith is a full-service gunsmith who specializes in firearms refinishing. He offers hot bluing, parkerizing, and Cerakote finishes, as well as wood refinishing. Check out his online inventory of new and used guns, firearms, accessories, optics, and more at dcgunsmith.ca. And you can also find him on Facebook and Instagram. And I took a look, and I didn't see any new listener feedback, so nothing to do. Yep. I did see a couple of people email in about patches, so if I have a little bit of time after the show here, and it looks like I will throw some of those in the mail. If you'd like to email the show, you can email us at slamfireradio@gmail.com. Podcast app reviews. We don't have any reviews on the podcast apps, but a lot of them these days don't have a spot to review. Like I'm using the one that's built into my car, this Google Podcast, and there's no such review in there. So if you've got a podcast app that allows for reviews, please review us. Otherwise, don't.
Just listen.
Email us. Or actually, go fill out our survey and tell us how we're doing. Or go review us on Facebook or something. I don't know. That's a thing, right? Reviewing people on Facebook? Reviewing podcasts? Yeah. Any shout-outs, Kelly?
Yeah, I have a couple of shout-outs. So, Greg May, I wanted to say thank you very much for the shirt and coming out last weekend. The shirt I will wear. I got told to wear the shirt when Trevor is on the show. I have to wait. And Adriel, I just wanted to say thank you very much for everything. You're my favorite.
I didn't do
It's
it.
official.
I didn't do anything, but thank you.
You're awesome. You're like the busiest man in gun show business.
And it shows. 'Cause I don't do anything quite right. But I do a lot, just not very well.
Do a lot. You do a lot well. You're awesome.
I do a lot, not a lot.
Yeah. I wanted to say thank you for going out to Sherwood Park tonight on our behalf.
Oh, well, thank me after I go there, and they've given you the emails and be like, oh, don't send that guy again. That was horrible.
I think you'll be fine.
I think I'll be fine too. Finally, Patreon supporters. So if you'd like to help support the show, head on over to patreon.com/Slamfire Radio, or go to our website, and then there's a link there. By helping support the show, you help pay for bandwidth and also for us to get better AV equipment. So I think, Kelly, we got to get you a new headset so you sound better. And
Yep.
I think I'm going to. One of the things I heard on the listener feedback actually was that my voice can go up and down, and that's because of the microphone I'm using. It's amazing quality, but based on where I'm at and moving around, it might change in the volume. So
Okay, you need to stop it.
I need to stop moving or get a headset so I can move around and be animated.
Right.
I'm animated, Kelly. I need to move. I can't just sit still.
You just can't sit still.
No. Anyways, that stuff helps us buy better AV equipment, so we sound better for you guys and look better for you guys with these better webcams. We need to look pretty. Need to look pretty for our viewers.
Are we going to put filters on our webcam
Yeah, I want the filters. Yeah, yeah.
with little hearts and kisses, fluttery eyes?
We'll do a gender bender one where it's like we'll put the girl
The
one on us,
switch?
and do the switch. Yeah.
Oh, mine's not pretty, by the way. If I'm a guy, it's not pretty at all. I look like my brother.
Yeah, I don't think guys are that pretty, so I think that's probably the filter working as it's intended to.
I'm curious to see what Trevor looks like as a girl.
Yeah, what's it even do with his beard and stuff? Very interesting. Yeah, maybe we'll just show like that. We got to do like an Instagram live show because I think what's that Snapchat? Snapchat's what the kids use that does all that stuff, right?
Kids, I use Snapchat. I'm not a kid.
Yeah, I stand by my yeah, we'll have to do like a Snapchat live video with multiple people and like dogs and girls and whatever.
I don't know.
Anyways, if you want to pay for that kind of nonsense, or even if you don't, support us on Patreon. And if you don't want to do the Patreon thing, we also have a Cabela's link on our website. If you are going to buy something from Cabela's online anyways, you go on slamfireradio.com, you click on the link, and then you'll get redirected to Cabela's, except we'll be telling Cabela's, hey, by the way, we sent that person. And then if you buy something, Cabela's will be like, cool, here's what we talked about earlier. And they'll slide like a cool $2 or $5 bill over to us.
Sweet.
Yeah, dirty deals. Finally, please join one or more of our firearms associations, such as the CCFR. Check us out on Gun Owners of Canada. Like us on Facebook. And from the sounds of it, go buy an AR-15 lower if you can find one. Thanks for watching, everyone.
So if you have any comments or questions for the show, please send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Now go grab a gun and shoot something.
When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.